Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco, sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
Welcome to Russia.
That's how cold it is, look.
The largest country on Earth, and home to nearly 150 million people.
Growing up as a kid in the 80s in London, Russia was painted as this weird, big baddie.
Now with Vladimir Putin well into his third term as president, it's starting to feel like that again.
Pro-Russian rebels in eastern Ukraine.
Vladimir Putin has ignored the dark warnings from the West.
There's going to have to be a very different relationship between Britain and Russia.
The West has imposed tough sanctions against Russia.
Russia is responsible for the violence.
And relations are the frostiest since the Cold War. So I'm here to find out what life is really like for young people, especially if you're gay. In 2013, it became illegal to tell anyone under 18 that being homosexual was in any way normal. And while Putin is busy flexing his muscles abroad, life here just got harder for thousands of Russians.
Наступит момент, когда им придется выбирать. Либо уехать из России, либо сесть в тюрьму или быть убитым.
I meet the homophobes who are out to get them.
If the law allowed it,
if the law allowed
what would he do?
He would kill those people.
I still like a Bible.
And discover what just one law says about a whole country's attitude to being gay.
Homosexuality is disgusting. Homophobia is beautiful and natural.
I'm on my way to Saint Petersburg to attend Queerfest, an annual get-together for lesbians, gays, bisexuals and transsexuals, or LGBT for short. First up, the city's most gay-friendly hostel, and they've sent Sergey to meet me.
Hi.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You too. That's the first time I've seen my name in Russia.
Welcome to Saint Petersburg.
Nice, thank you.
I'm being driven in St. Petersburg's only gay taxi service. In today's climate, gay men like Sergey and driver Elena can't afford to be too obvious about it. But the car does contain a few clues.
There's a lot of rainbows in this car.
Yep. The only rainbow taxi in Saint Petersburg.
So why did Elena start the rainbow taxi service?
Для того, чтобы было нашим людям спокойно и безопасно.
According to a recent survey, nearly half of gay people here have experienced some kind of homophobic abuse. But while the situation is serious, the scenery is stunning.
That's so pretty. Wow. That's beautiful. So it's a church, is it?
Yep.
This isn't what I expected Russia to look like. Forgive me, I know that's quite judgmental. I expected quite a cold, industrial, sort of hard city. But it feels like we're in, I don't know, Vienna or Paris. I mean, there's so many beautiful old buildings here.
But it's only upper appearance. If you lived here for some time, you would see what situation is. Lenin is everywhere in Russia.
The Bolshevik Revolution led to 74 years of strict communist rule in all areas of Russian life. And until 1993, gay people could be punished with up to 5 years in prison, sometimes with hard labor. These days, homosexuality itself is not illegal, but old attitudes persist. For a young gay man, what is this city like?
In Russian mentality, a boy must be a boy. Act like a boy, look like a boy. If a boy is dressed not like a boy, yes, he's faggot. You can be beaten only for your appearance, only for your apparel, even if you do not behave like a gay.
The idea that someone can't be who they want to be openly, to me, is a scary thought.
This is Russian reality, unfortunately.
The steps kinda give the gay hostel away, but Sergei assures me many people here don't know what the rainbow flag means. But inside, there was no mistake where we were.
Look at this. Well, this is flamboyant. Very colourful.
I know. If you're tired of bright colors, just do this way. It will help. It will help for sure.
Well, that definitely gets rid of the bright colours. That's cool. Okay, take care. Alright, International Festival of Queer Culture.
Queerfest is the largest LGBT event in Russia. 10 days of social and cultural events and seminars, all starting tomorrow.
That's interesting. So Queerfest is an 18+ event. You can't go if you're under 18, which is really strange because men, women and children, you see walk in the streets of London during Pride. Here, you're not allowed to talk to children about homosexual behaviour, activity, lifestyle or anything.
The government say the anti-gay propaganda law was created to protect young people from the moral and public health dangers of being homosexual, and it's strictly enforced.
It does make me a little bit worried because my mentality alone, if verbalised, is enough to get me thrown into jail. Should I ask the wrong question or should I say the wrong thing and have it heard by the wrong person? Suddenly things could take a really dark turn.
The next morning, I have a question for Sergei about the festival, its location.
So today is Queerfest, is that right?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to find it?
To call them.
So everyone that goes has to call the festival to find out where to go?
Yes.
I think I've taken for granted the severity of what's actually happening here because I don't think I've ever heard of a festival that's public and free to attend that doesn't tell you where it is.
I finally got the address and thought I'd head down there early. But it seems others have got there before me.
No idea why the police is here.
Shit. There are armed police here. It's understandable that they're here to keep the peace. The only thing I'm worried about is that they are armed. Therefore, maybe they've heard more than I have.
As well as the police, I noticed two guys across the road.
Who are these two? They've been here a while. So are you guys here for Queerfest then?
Actually, we're a little bit afraid to go there.
To be involved. So what, are you straight? Are you a couple? Are you friends?
Yeah, we're a couple.
You're a couple. So why are you afraid to be involved?
Oh, do you think that this police is just stand there?
Мы напуганы и, в общем-то, довольно это опасно конкретно для нас двоих.
Do you resent the fact that you're not able to act in the way that you'd like?
Ну, конечно, мы не можем себя открыто, мы не можем брать друг друга за руки, я не могу его целовать или что-то в том роде, ну, проявлять любовь.
Любые проявления чувств.
На самом деле, посмотрите, приехала еще и подмога, ОМОН, полиция, то есть...
Oh wow, so there's more have arrived. There's a bus full of them.
Геи сильные, они боятся чего-то.
I really want to catch up with these two later, but first, I need to find the organisers.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Reggie. What's your name?
I'm Alfred.
How you doing, Alfred? So what can you expect from a day like today, then?
Our friends from homophobic and from Orthodox activists and other people comes here and they trying to not allow us this festival. Yeah.
But no sooner have I arrived, everyone starts packing up.
Excuse me, what's happening?
We left and go to different.
So you have to move?
Yes.
You've been kicked out?
Yes.
The owner has been in touch and said that it's a safety issue, which is a really poor excuse. Apparently, the ceiling isn't safe for an event to happen here, therefore, they need to leave.
On the other side of the door stands Vitaly Milanov, architect of the notorious law against what his supporters call gay propaganda.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry, excuse me. Would you be willing to talk to us at all? We were making a television program, a documentary.
About what?
About young people here in Russia.
I can't see young people here.
Well, they were.
I can't see. I would like to find any young people, except different faggots. But unfortunately, I can't do it because the faggots they hired the security. So we, people of Russia, we cannot enter to see what they're doing there. Probably, I think that they're making a homosexual propaganda towards minors.
So was your plan to find out what was happening here at the festival?
I would like to find. I'm official representative, so I'm the member of the city hall.
Yeah.
I would like to find out what's going on, but I'm not allowed to do it because if you're a woman dressed like men, like this one, if you dress like not a woman, dressed like some faggot, no, you can enter. If you're dressed like a normal person, you cannot enter.
And do you believe that this is a dangerous organization? An event like Queerfest?
A piece of shit is not dangerous, but it's quite unpleasant to see on the street. Homosexuality is disgusting. Homophobia is beautiful and natural. Homophobia is a natural side of people's life. No.
I grew up in a country where it's against the law to discriminate against minorities. I'm struggling a bit here.
I'm really surprised that a politician and member of the current ruling party can publicly speak in that manner, and it's okay. He picked a young girl and referred to her as a faggot to her face. Even I feel funny saying that word out loud because it's just so offensive.
While we've been talking, the organisers have packed up the entire exhibition and moved it to their backup venue 10 minutes down the road. I'm not too sure of the address, but the police seem to know where it is.
Go, 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 go.
And so do the homophobes.
Не мешайте, пожалуйста, а? Не мешайте мне.
And at the moment, the security that they've hired in are doing their job, but things look like they're about to take a bit of a nasty turn.
Вы хотите, чтобы завтра вот эта петушня изнасиловала наших детей? Педофилов, извращенцев.
The good news is that the security managed to shut the door. The bad news, I'm stuck outside. But at least I get the chance to speak to one of the most vocal protesters.
Can you translate some of these signs? So what do these signs mean? What does that say?
Not queer fest, it is the fest of Sodom. Russia, it is Orthodox Christian country, and it is not acceptable for us.
Yeah.
But the homophobes aren't giving up.
So word is apparently there's another way in.
By the time we get to the other entrance, the homophobes are squirting people who are trying to get in with green ink.
Stop it!
Stop it! Just as I try to get in, someone seems really eager to get out.
There's like a really strong smell coming from this. And this girl's dropped it. And it's really bad to the point where I'm actually gagging now, just getting a slight whiff of it.
She makes straight for the homophobic guy I met upstairs earlier.
Do you know this girl? Sorry, who's you guys know each other? Do you know this lady?
God's will.
Is that the same? So you're from the same organisation? Ah, okay. Excuse me, before you go, listen, I would love to talk to you more and find out more about your beliefs and your organisation. Would you be willing to do that? Maybe yourself and your girlfriend?
When?
As soon as possible.
You can take the telephone number.
Yeah? Perfect. Okay.
Back inside, some of the anti-gay protesters are still here. And they're on a mission.
Excuse me. Hi, you happy to talk? You happy to talk to camera? Hello, nice to meet you. So what is it that you guys are doing here today?
Я пришел с единственной целью посмотреть, находятся ли на данном мероприятии дети.
And if there are children in there, what would you do?
Мы вызвали полицию, потому что это была бы пропаганда гомосексуализма несовершеннолетним.
Они пидоры.
Quickly.
Eventually, I make it into Queerfest, and the smell of the stink bomb is unbearable.
It's foul in here, jeez.
And I finally see what all the fuss is about. A room full of peaceful people looking at art and sipping soft drinks.
It doesn't get more timid than a girl selling some vintage dresses and some free cookies. They're not even serving alcohol.
No one looks underage, and the organizers are defiant.
Фестиваль открывается, несмотря ни на что, только подтверждает этот тезис. Мы есть, и мы уже никуда не уйдем.
Homosexuality itself is not illegal in Russia, as long as you're over 16. Presumably there are the same amount of gay people here as anywhere else, but they seem to be keeping a low profile.
На самом деле парки красивые в Петергофе, в Пушкине и в Павловске.
Vanya and Nusrullah, the couple I met outside Queerfest yesterday, have agreed to meet me at one of their favorite places.
Now, I understand that this is a bit of a special park for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is it so special?
Here was our first met, when we first met here.
So your first date?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know, like, yes, I'm really attracted to this person, I really like this person?
Но мне он сразу понравился. Мне он сначала понравился в интернете, мы познакомились через интернет.
The only way for many gay people to meet here is online, but it's fraught with danger.
Откуда Ваня мог знать, что я не нападу на него, не подстава какая-нибудь,
Could have been a setup.
Очень много в России с помощью приложения Grindr в iPhone или там другого приложения преступники встречаются с геями, с молодыми, и группа из 6 человек нападает на этого молодого человека и отбирает телефон,
грабят,
деньги, грабят. У нас несколько было таких случаев с нашими знакомыми.
Like a lot of gay people in Russia, Vanya and Nusrullah have to work out ways to hide their sexuality, even going as far as inventing a girlfriend.
Are there pictures of the two of you together?
Ну вот тут, но она не очень симпатичная здесь. Сейчас, подожди. Где мы голые, точно. Сейчас я покажу, где мы голые.
Oh my God. And that. How does that feel for you, knowing that your partner
funny.
Is it more funny than anything else? Because it is a bit ridiculous, let's be honest.
Я перестал относиться к этому серьезно.
Wow. So the girl in this situation that's in the pictures, what sort of relationship do you have with her now?
Сейчас мы с ней перестали общаться только из-за того, что у нее появился парень.
Который гомофоб. Он даже не хочет здороваться с нами за руку.
Да, он всегда это избегает, когда подходит к нам.
Wow. So is there not a worry then that he could potentially spread the word about the true nature of your relationship?
Мы опасаемся, более того, он прокурор.
Работает в органах.
Да, он работает в полиции, в общем-то.
Wow. Okay, well, I really hope that nothing comes from this situation because it's, I imagine, quite scary.
Все будет хорошо, я думаю. Главное, я буду с Ваней, и все. Главное, я его люблю.
Если бы не было этого человека, на которого можно было бы опереться, то, в принципе, я уже давно бы сдался.
As I leave, I can't help wondering who wouldn't wish them well. But I'm about to find out. Despite being banned in Soviet times, the Russian Orthodox Church has really bounced back. 3 out of 4 Russians now claim to follow its teachings, and their views on homosexuality are uncompromising. Dmitry, who I met last night, is the head of a pressure group called God's Will, and he's here with his friend Mila to meet me.
Dmitry, hello again. How you doing?
Fine, thanks. Мешаем пропаганде гомосексуализма, объясняем людям, почему нельзя быть терпимым к этому явлению.
Now, I have gay people in my family. I know a lot of gay people back in the UK. Do you think that they're doomed?
Безусловно, эти люди, они враги Бога. Когда кто-то говорит с гордостью, что он гомосексуалист, мерзость, это болевотина.
See, okay. Now, one of the things that happened in there yesterday was that there was some sort of stink bomb, and you dropped something that looked like the bomb itself.
Мы хотели показать всем, что этот грех смердит.
It was horrible.
Некоторые люди начало тошнить, и они прям тошнили из окна.
Suddenly, we're joined by a third member of God's Will, and Layla speaks fluent English.
We were trying to oppose people who does that homosexual propaganda, and we did it in the most non-violent of ways.
Could you answer the question?
We did not have Molotov cocktails in our hands.
Would you have thrown a Molotov cocktail?
If the law would let me do that, I certainly would. It's the symbol of the stench of sodomy. He would have done it.
What would he have done if the law allowed it?
Yeah, if the law allowed it.
What would he do?
He would kill those people.
In what fashion? How would he kill them?
Как бы ты их убил?
By stone, like a Bible.
Okay, so if the law allowed it, you'd stone them.
Да. То есть, если бы закон это позволял, то их камнями забил. Yes, he actually agreed. Yes.
Do you agree? Would you do the same thing?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
You're strongly trying to stand for having someone's penis in your anus, and that we see as a disgusting thing.
I don't even know. I can't even. It's quite tough to hear some of those views when, they're talking quite directly about people that you know and love. And I've met a lot of people here who wouldn't hurt a fly, but there is a whole wave of people that want them jailed, killed, assaulted.
I'm quickly starting to understand what the organisers of Queerfest are up against. It's only day 2, and I need to find out where they're meeting in case the location has changed again.
Hello, Alfred.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? So what is the plan for tonight? Are we still meeting up later?
No, unfortunately, we lost our rain for today because of neonazi schools and public roads.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? I mean, obviously yesterday was tough, and now this.
I don't know what can we do.
Standing up for gay rights is clearly an uphill struggle, but a handful of protesters refuse to be silenced. In 2013, gay activist Kirill Kalugin held up a rainbow flag promoting tolerance in central Saint Petersburg. Protesting right in the middle of the Russian Airborne Force's big military celebration. Footage of him being attacked by angry paratroopers then went viral across Russia and then the world.
Твой флаг — это вещественное доказательство твоей пропаганды. За пропаганду это убей, ты что?
Hello, it's Reggie.
I've tracked Kirill down, and a year later, he's living in a safe house.
Green or black?
Green's good. Green's good, thank you.
With a new tattoo on his forehead, a symbol of creative destruction.
How long have you been protesting?
Ну, с конца 2011 года, когда начались обсуждения принятия закона.
This isn't exactly the easiest place in the world to be a young gay man. How did your family react when you did come out?
Они думали, что я шучу над ними.
So when did they realize that you were serious, that this was who you were?
Когда по телевизору меня показали там на Дворцовой площади.
Никакой крови, им кровь проплатили. Тихо, им кровь проплатили. Поскользнулся, упал, падать не надо.
Kirill's been arrested because of his activism. And in Russia, there's now a law that says if you are arrested for protesting twice within 6 months, you can go to prison.
Are you scared of going to jail?
Лучше пристрелить, чем меня отправят куда-нибудь в подвал или еще куда-нибудь. Ну, то есть, нет, в тюрьму я не хочу.
В основном проблема какая, что с таким человеком, как Кирилл, и, скорее всего, срок ты свой не отсидишь, тебя просто убьют.
Can you imagine yourself staying here and spending the rest of your life in this country?
Я думаю, любой радикальный активист наступит тот момент, когда ему придется выбирать. Либо уехать из России, ну, либо сесть в тюрьму или быть убитым.
Amnesty International claimed President Putin has introduced 30 new repressive laws to silence opposition, gay or otherwise, in just the last 3 years. One of them is called the solo protest law. Kirill said he'd show me just how it works when you want to protest without official permission. But I'm not too sure why he's brought along a couple of blank placards.
Я хочу посмотреть, как будут реагировать люди, как будет реагировать полиция, и что мне будет за то, что я стою с пустым листом.
Okay. All right, so why haven't you got anyone with you? Aren't you protesting with more people today?
Потому что если рядом со мной на расстоянии там, 50 метров будет стоять кто-то еще там, с плакатом или с листовками, их сразу задержат.
If I joined you, we could literally both be arrested, is that what you said?
Kirill seems to be attracting a lot of attention, most of it negative.
They seem to be laughing at you. Why are they laughing?
Потому что круто, молодец.
Why does he think it's okay to say that to you? That's ridiculous.
Ну, не знаю, потому что у него, наверное, проблемы какие-то в голове.
Do you know what? Why not? 50 meters. Do you mind if I join you?
Я не против, только надо как-то так разойтись, чтобы 50 метров.
I'm gonna keep walking. You tell me when I'm 50 meters, yeah?
Я не знаю, насколько. Я думаю... Да, это нормально, нормально.
Completely legal. It's a legal protest. It's right. There's nothing on it. Not a word written on it. Completely legal. Whole 50 meters apart. If I look a little nervous, it's because oh crap, I can hear sirens. It's because I'm actually looking for police. Truth is, I guess based on what Kirill was saying, there's a chance that we both could get arrested right now.
It's beginning to dawn on me what the law really means.
I mean, with the amount of distance between myself and Kirill, people might not even see him and then see me. They might not even realise that we're together. They might not even realise that we're both protesting. It's really weird. I'm sort of in two minds as to whether I should put this down or keep it up on my way over to Kirill, because now technically I'm close enough to him for the both of us to be arrested, because, well, we're breaking the law. Literally right up to me folding this away.
Вы нарушаете закон.
Are you scared?
No.
Well, I am. I'm putting this away. I ain't going to Russian jail. Tell you that for nothing.
Okay, how cold are you?
Hands.
Oh, your hands? All right, look. I think you've done enough. You've done enough. Come on. Come with me. Come.
It's great to see someone fighting their corner, but Kirill seems so vulnerable and alone. And even Queerfest, with hundreds of supporters, is struggling with a system set against them.
Hello, everyone. Hello, guys. How you doing? You okay? Yeah. You look really busy. I don't want to disturb you too much. How's everything?
All venues that we had, they cut contracts with us, so we're looking for a new venues for...
They cut contracts?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's twice in 2 days. I mean,
yes, for 2 days, we lost 4 venues. Somebody calls to police and said that there is a bomb in this club where we had a concert. We didn't talk even with police, but did know about this event. We didn't know actually how did they know about it and in which time it will take place. But when we come there, they're standing there and waiting for us.
How are they finding out? How
are they
finding out about
because
what you're doing?
Maybe they heard this office.
Maybe they what, sorry?
Maybe they have something like bugs or...
This is Russia, so the talk of bugging isn't a total surprise, and nor is the fact that the police have made no arrests yet in connection with yesterday's homophobic attacks.
Происходило хулиганство, да, вот такое вот нападение на людей у входа. Полиция была все это время у входа, но ничего не предпринимала. Заявления в полиции есть, и они должны их расследовать, и сегодня еще будут заявления в полицию тоже по открытию.
So you're actually going to go to the police today?
Yes.
Right.
With tonight's event cancelled, everyone's heading down to the police station.
What are you expecting the police to say?
I'm sure that they won't be glad to see us.
Давайте тогда тут кто пишет.
What's this that he has here in these plastic envelopes? What is that?
It's a statement for police.
If you've got that many accounts, there must be a reaction, surely.
Yeah, maybe in United Kingdom, but here we don't share in that. We ignore it by court, we ignore it by police, we ignore it by government.
Is there really a point to keep coming back?
Yes, because it's important for us. We make LGBT society visual, and now everybody knows that LGBT societies exist in Russia, because before us, nobody talks about LGBT society. Now they know about us, now they're trying to fight with us. We exist, and that's good.
But visibility can make you a target.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
A homophobic website posting the identities and addresses of young gay activists has led to horrific attacks.
She looks really young.
Ты ее знаешь, Дарью?
Daria was viciously attacked 3 years ago and then dropped out of activism for many months. She lives on the outskirts of Saint Petersburg with her girlfriend Ksenia and her 2 dogs.
Снеша, пошли, пошли скорее.
I love the fact that even the pillows on your bed have dogs on them.
Да, это Женины подушки. Женина любовь с животными, собачками, кошечками, они повсюду.
Daria has now built a stable and loving home, but things used to be very different.
What exactly happened?
Я помню, что их было 8 человек. Лица были скрыты масками, в руках были у кого-то ножи. Сначала они кричали, обзывали, ругали. После того, как я попыталась ответить словесно, мне всадили нож в живот. Я пробыла несколько дней в реанимации, на грани смерти.
Wow, and what happened? Were they caught?
Полиции даже не стали рассматривать заявление о нападении. Меня отослали со словами «Лесботин необслуживаем».
So if you're not protected by the police, how are you able to stay safe? How are you able to stay feeling safe?
Мне было очень страшно выходить на улицу. И я молчала очень долго, пока я не решила, что я сильнее этих людей, и я не дам им меня сломать.
Я боюсь, что будет как в прошлый раз. Страшно за нее, именно за ее здоровье, за ее безопасность, за ее жизнь.
Now Daria's in danger again with new online abuse.
Just how serious have the most recent threats got?
Просто из разряда мерзкие лесбиянки. Самое неприятное — это горите на костре, сжигать вас.
Do you think there's more of a chance of what happened to you happening again?
Да, конечно. И наши власти сейчас делают все для того, чтобы становилось еще хуже.
What do you feel about the anti-propaganda law?
Этот закон принес только один единственный результат — это разжигание гомофобии.
Да. Они почувствовали свою безнаказанность, абсолютную.
Daria was stabbed by homophobes, and they got away with it. And now maybe this new law is making the situation even worse if it's sending the signal that it's okay to hate gays.
Some people are so scared of the gay and lesbian community, horrified by, disgusted by, whatever you want to call it, that they see physically attacking someone and leaving them for dead as acceptable.
I've only been here a few days, but one thing's for sure, the police are everywhere. And it feels like voicing any kind of opposition could get you into trouble. But Kirill tells me about an illegal Stop the War demo against the war in Ukraine. And despite the risks, young radicals like Kirill have turned out in force. But it's also attracted hardline right-wingers and ultra-nationalists.
People definitely know your face. Don't you get worried that someone might attack you?
Да, такая вероятность существует, но я готов ко всему.
As the peace walk gets going, I recognize a face from the Queer Fest opening night, and he wasn't inside enjoying the party.
А у вас личной жизни нет, что вы за нами ходите?
Я за вами не хожу.
А что вы делаете?
Я гуляю.
Everywhere that I've been, this guy in the blue outfit has been there, and he's been taking photos and he's been watching, and I haven't really thought anything of it beyond the fact that he might be a little bit nuts. But I'm not at home, and this is a very, very different climate and a very different place, and things like that make me a little worried.
Ну вот в синем вот этот мужчина, он из «Единой России» вот стоит. Ну, он вокруг него все время появляются наши противники, так сказать.
And United Russia is the name of the ruling political party.
Excuse me, is that a picture of us? Have you got pictures of us? Right, okay. You've been taking pictures the whole time that I've been here. What's the reason?
На себя, на память. Я веду себя достаточно спокойно, и мои ребята тоже.
When we get to the main rally, I can really see the effect of that one-person protest law Kirill told me about.
I don't really feel like I'm in the middle of a demonstration or a protest because, I mean, everyone isn't wearing the same colour. There aren't any signs or placards, and it's just a really strange atmosphere.
Then it becomes clear why the man in the blue tracksuit has been tracking us when he brings over the anti-gay propaganda politician, Milanov.
I can see it's your friend.
Have you met this man before?
No, sure. He's a well-known crazy person from Saint Petersburg, crazy homosexual.
И этот человек будет говорить, что еще я сумасшедший.
Осторожно, у него спидозный какой-то.
Беги отсюда, беги. Мы тебя иллюстрируем.
Еще раз так расскажешь, я тебе иллюстрирую твои уши по твоим карманам, понятно?
Это угроза?
Я просто прикасаться к тебе не могу, потому что у тебя ложка дырявая. We don't have enough space in Russia for such individuals.
Уходите, я здесь стою, это мой город.
Ну ты педофил.
Ушел.
Just as Milanov leaves, another homophobe quickly replaces him.
Кузьмин, который напал на нас в мае.
It's Mikhail Kuzmin, who I briefly met at Queer Fest.
И уголовных дел не было, дай.
What do you think of activists like Kirill and his friends?
Я считаю вообще их не людьми. Это просто ничтожество, мрази. Они мне омерзительны. Они просто настолько ущербны. Ну, посмотрите на них, заснимите. Ну, все делается для гомосексуалистов. Их даже в армию не берут. Им все не нравится. Все равно уходят, им не нравится.
Не служи!
Я действую исключительно в интересах русского народа.
This is supposed to be a peace march, but people like Kirill are getting abused. With the police threatening us, it's time to go. But not before I get Mikhail to agree to meet me the next day.
He looks exactly how I feel. It's just so hard to understand the way that people think. I can't get my head around it. It's just really draining trying to understand the motivation as to why people are so full of hate, so unwilling to understand. It's just really bloody sad.
When the Soviet Union collapsed in '91, gay life in cities like Saint Petersburg suddenly became visible and decriminalized. But now, just 23 years later, that all seems to have gone. This is a country where 72% of those recently polled said being gay is unacceptable. I still can't understand what makes the average Russian so homophobic. Maybe a bit more time spent with Mikhail will help.
Mikhail, good to see you again. How are you? You okay?
Perhaps Mikhail can show me what real men in Russia get up to on the weekend.
Я бы сделал референдум пропаганды гомосексуализма. Ведь если они решат, что сжигать, вешать или еще каким-то образом их казнить, значит казнить.
Apart from just slagging off gay people, that is.
So where exactly are we headed to now?
Там будет проходить, тренировка. То есть, бокс и так далее. Алло, мы уже подъезжаем там.
First, we're meeting up with Mikhail's opponent.
How you doing? What's your name?
Victor.
Victor, nice to meet you.
Then it's down to the beach.
Are you about to start training? Is that the plan?
About to start fighting.
Ah.
На Руси, мы, можно сказать, продолжаем русские традиции, потому что на Руси кулачные бои приветствовались.
What's with the knife? Jesus, where'd that come from?
То есть это все в самооборону, никаких нападений.
Сделать замечание, то есть нож был у каждого русского человека.
Can I see your knife?
Huh?
And do you carry that normally? Will you have that on you all the time?
Yes. Прежде всего, мужчина в русской традиции – это воин. Это основа менталитета русского парня, русского мужика.
If there's any doubt whether Victor shares Mikhail's opinion, it doesn't last long.
Я лютый гомофоб, то есть как большинство здравомыслящего населения России, русских.
And if you had a homosexual approach you, would you use your knife?
Нет, я бы просто хорошенько набил ему морду.
The more I chat to these guys, the more I'm starting to think that they're scared of something bigger than homosexuality.
The thing that's coming through now in a way that I don't think has really come through before is a level of fear. And I think the fear is that what is traditional and what is sacred about Russia could be lost. Mikhail, you okay? You sure? Caught a couple to the face there. Oh, hang on a second. The police are here. Why are the police turned up? What's he saying?
No one was quite sure why we had to stop filming, but guess who's with them? The man in the blue tracksuit.
I think we might be being moved on. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they heard that we're going to put the gloves on me. Didn't want shit to get real.
If I'm going to find out where Victor's extreme views come from, I need to spend more time with him. Luckily, he's invited me to join him for some manly Russian fun.
What's that?
Спрессованный веник. Его надо размочить горячей водой, чтобы попариться. Сначала вокруг тела веником надавить.
So you're going to hit me?
Yes, it is.
In the UK, whipping a naked man in a sauna could send the kind of message Victor might regret. But Britain suddenly feels very far away.
If I faint, don't judge me.
Ладно, но как бы это шуточная температура для русских парней, мужиков.
Well, we can't go any hotter in here, because I'm not hanging in there. All right, Banya, what does this do? How does it work? And let's do it.
Смотрит телевизор ребенок.
I'm wearing shorts, buddy.
Начинаем вот таким образом пропаривать ноги. And you?
Сейчас смотрит обратно в себя. Не может плевать себе в душу.
Ну, ты же из жарких стран должен это как бы...
Funny guy. There you go.
Ложись face all down.
What am I doing?
Тепло?
I'm fucking warm.
Хорош на первую. Теперь быстро в колонну. Давай. Раз, два, три, пошел.
Now we've bonded, maybe Victor can help me understand his problem with gays.
So what is it that upsets you about homosexuality so much? Is it the physicality of two men being together? Is it the idea of men sleeping with each other? What is it?
Обычно гомосексуализм идет, так сказать, в одной связке вместе с развратом. Тогда уже следующей ступенью мы получаем, что можно трахать абсолютно все, хоть пылесос, хоть какого-то соседа.
Who's having sex with vacuum cleaners?
Это я говорю образно.
I'm just very interested because I don't feel the same way as you. I'm a straight man, but I don't have the same beliefs. So I'm trying to understand why you feel the way that you do about homosexuals.
Гомосексуализм никак не может привносить положительный элемент в русскую культуру.
But this is happening all over the world, and the world isn't necessarily falling apart because of the existence of homosexuals.
Западная пропаганда является ключом развития гомосексуализма, потому что в Советском Союзе такого не было, и до Советского Союза такого тоже не было.
So you think the gay men could essentially pull Russia apart? Do you think society is going to crumble because of gay men?
Они являются одними из тех, кто подрывает основы нашей национальной культуры.
I like Victor. After all, I don't let every bloke I meet thrash me with a bunch of hot twigs. So I'm really pleased he's invited me to go to a club, a traditional Russian folk club. Suddenly, he's not the only one dressed in traditional gear. Victor tells me state-funded folk clubs like this are hugely popular in Russia. And they're not going to let me get away with sitting down.
Oh, hello. Oh, mate.
Hey! Very good.
У него красиво получилось с бедрами, а вот покажи как. Вот так не ходили, вот так не ходили.
So where does this fit into Russian culture then? Is this part of modern culture or is this just very, very traditional?
Этим танцам уже очень много веков, но сейчас молодежь, собираясь вместе на гулянье, пляшет эти танцы, танцует.
How important is doing this for young people?
Ну, я считаю, что это, конечно, очень важно, потому что это очень обогащает нас духовно.
Вот я думаю, когда вырасту, я своим детям тоже перенесу им эти традиции.
Maybe this is what Victor thinks he's protecting, the good old days.
Yes! Thank you very much. Spasiba. Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing me here. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Pleasure. That was pretty special stuff, actually. And that's the first time I feel like I've really had an opportunity to see traditional Russian culture, like properly. And when you sort of take someone like Victor, who at some points during today has felt like quite a scary character, when you put him in this scenario, you can understand why he's so tied to tradition.
And it's a tradition that has no room for gay rights. So where does that leave couples like Vanya and Nasrullah, unable to be themselves in public and living in fear of being outed, or worse? It's my last day in Saint Petersburg. They've invited me over for a goodbye dinner, and they've got a surprise for me.
Mom, this is my mom.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Reggie. Nice to meet you.
It's not unusual here to live with 3 generations, but not with your boyfriend as well.
Of course.
This is my grandmother.
Oh, wow. Hello, how you doing? Grandmother. Reggie, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. When did you come out to your mom?
When he was 16.
16, that's really young.
Это было, конечно, для меня большим ударом, шок, но приняла его таким, как он есть, потому что это мой ребенок, он мне дорог любым.
You're really lucky to have a mother like that. That's an amazing thing to hear a mum say here. I mean, Grandma grew up in a difficult time. How hard was it to have her understand your new life and your partner?
В общем-то, она сразу все поняла, приняла. Поэтому бабушка...
Как был ребенок, так и есть наш ребенок.
So what does your mother think about the two of you living together?
She prefer do not talk about my nature, like I'm not exist or something. She think that we have no future. So actually we have some kind of plans to move in America, USA, and New York, yeah. This is his dream.
That's a big jump. I mean, it's a long way away. It's a completely different culture.
Yeah. So we're ready.
Vanya gives me a tour to show me what they're leaving behind.
This is grandmother and mother room.
Hang on a second. So mum and grandmother have rainbow pillows on their bed. Love that. Are you finding it difficult knowing that you're going to leave all of this? You're planning to leave this city, you're planning to leave this sunset interview?
Мне, конечно, каждый день грустно от этого. Я начал думать об этом еще 3 месяца назад.
And do you want to get married as well?
Yeah, of course. It's the first thing that we want to do. Let's get married.
And kids?
Yeah, of course.
Мечта у меня на самом деле очень простая. Иметь большой дом, иметь собаку, кошку, чтобы мама была рядом, чтобы Насрулла был рядом и чтобы у нас был ребенок.
Гостиная, как бы.
Bon appetit.
I started ages ago. Just how much do you worry about your son when he leaves, and how safe do you think that they are?
Он выходит из дома, я уже переживаю.
Do you think there's any chance that your son and his partner could have the lives that they deserve here in Russia?
Ну, в России, если врать и прятаться.
I wish I could persuade them that they don't need to leave. But from what I've seen this week, they don't have an alternative if they want to raise a family. It's the closing night of Queerfest, and they're taking no chances on the location being pulled at the last minute. The venue's a lesbian bar. But as I turn up, my heart sinks as I spot the man in blue. A sure sign that trouble isn't far away.
Hello. Do you not think it's a bit juvenile, sort of hanging around outside a venue, trying to intimidate people? Are you not a bit too old for that?
Ну, не знаю. Я лично считаю, что я нахожусь в свободной стране, что в России есть еще люди, которые придерживаются истинных ценностей, выступают за брак, за семью.
I've had enough hate for one trip.
Wrap up warm.
I want to join in the celebrations. Earlier in the week, I doubted tonight would even go ahead.
Hello. Hey, how you doing? You okay?
Inside, I'm amazed to see Daria and her girlfriend finally attending this year's Queerfest.
You seem in good spirits then. Are you guys up for a good night tonight? Are you looking forward to the end of Queerfest?
Да, наконец-то завершается, и, собственно, это хотя бы хоть какой-то шанс того, что никого больше не побьют и не убьют. Да, это радует.
Well, it's incredibly brave of you to even come to this event. So you deserve a good night. I hope you have one.
несмотря на все, что происходит. Отбились.
И поздравляю всех с успешным проведением квартета.
I can't leave without saying bye to Alfred. He made this happen because he refused to give in.
Come in. I'm gonna shut up now.
I'm leaving Saint Petersburg with mixed feelings. Russia's going backwards, not forwards, when it comes to gay rights.
But the one thing that I think I'm walking away with more than anything is that there is a gay community here that, regardless of what the homophobic groups believe or whatever the Orthodox groups believe, they are going to continue to fight. Some people are leaving, but a lot of people are willing to stay here and fight regardless of the conditions or, more importantly, the laws.